Okay, so it is the North Central Texas weather discussion video for Monday evening, the 19th of January. I'm Donovan Neal. So there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of gnashing of teeth regarding the possibility of a winter weather event across parts of North Texas through much of the south central U.S. Friday afternoon through the weekend. So hopefully we can answer some questions here. So here we go. This is let's focus on right now. This is the upper air look at 500 millibars this evening. And the reason why it's been so cold is because we've had this high amplitude trough rotating around the Great Lakes in the northeastern United States. And we can also see that through the radar as well. We have some lake effect snow through parts of Michigan and parts of New York State as well. But down here, we're chilly. As of 6:30 this evening, temperatures mostly in the 40s. DFW sitting at 41, and we'll be well below freezing tonight, with many low-lying areas in low to mid 20s as well. Up on the watch warning map, obviously nothing down here going on except some winter weather issues with some lake effect snow near Michigan, Wisconsin, and parts of New York. And obviously with the cold stable air mass, we don't have to worry about any thunderstorms today, tomorrow, but on Wednesday, we could see some thunder in East Texas through parts of Louisiana, central Mississippi, and South Arkansas, but no severe weather is expected anytime soon. So here's the rainfall for the next 7 days, valid through Monday evening of next week. It's showing rain amounts around 1.5 to around 2 inches for parts of the Metroplex in North Texas. And the big question is, how much of this is going to be just rain? How much of this will be freezing rain? How much of this will be sleet? And how much of this would be snow? So let's answer some questions here. Let's start with the dailies here. This is the European model, deterministic output. This is the 18Z run, valid tomorrow afternoon at noon. They look around 500 millibars, around 18,000 feet off the ground. You can see that big high amplitude trough over the northeastern part of the country. But down here, we're dry. It should be quite a nice day with highs in the mid 50s. We will see some clouds with southern extent later during the day, during the afternoon and evening. That will overspread tomorrow night. And then Wednesday could be fairly wet from areas along and east of 35. I say around from Denton, Fort Worth, down to Burleson is our best chance of, in points to the east, it will be our best chance of seeing some scattered showers throughout the day. And this is beginning Wednesday morning, lasting pretty much throughout the day. Highs will hover around 60 degrees though. And on Thursday, pretty much the same deal here. Thursday, we'll see a high mostly in the mid to upper 50s under a mostly cloudy sky with some scattered showers about. Now, here comes Friday afternoon. Friday afternoon, we will be particularly wet, but also keep in mind, look at this Siberian air that's moving down south from the north. This is during the day Friday. We're already in heavy rain. And then this is during the day Saturday afternoon. Now, if this were to verify, this would mean some freezing rain across the northern third of Texas with some heavy snow, moderate to heavy snow possible across the Texas Panhandle, much of Oklahoma, much of northern and central Arkansas, with some sleet mixed in associated with that. This would lead to a pretty high impact winter storm across the south central U.S. And keep in mind, this is not going to look like this verbatim. A lot of things can and will change since this is still 4 to 5 days out. But let's get a second opinion just for fun. This is the GFS, the American GFS model. Stands for Global Forecasting System. And I will say this hasn't been performing well this winter. But you can still see it still has some moderate to heavy sleet for much of the region by Saturday afternoon, with the axis of freezing rain down to the south near Temple, Waco, Killeen, even down towards Austin, extending out to the west and east, with the heavy snow still occurring in Oklahoma. So let's get a third opinion. This is the Canadian model. and the axis is little tilted to the northeast by a little bit, and it's still showing some freezing rain for parts of the metroplex, along with some heavy sleet as well. So there is a lot of global model agreement that a potential winter storm of some sort is on tap, mainly Saturday during the day, but could start as early as Friday afternoon and evening. We don't know that specifically yet. We can't get too specific too early, but there is insane confidence from global models. Also, the upper air pattern currently favors the potential for south central winter weather event. And again, I emphasize this will look radically different this week, so keep your eyes peeled on the forecast. But I will say the European has been a pretty reliable model over this past season, and I will say that if this were to verify by any means, this is the freezing rain accumulation, and if this verifies by any means, or even by a sliver, by golly, this would mean a pretty terrible ice storm across much of north central Texas and even northeast Texas. Yes, we've seen some ice storms recently with January 2023, but that recorded about half an inch of ice. But if this were to verify, even an inch of ice, this would be a pretty crippling ice storm with major impacts that can be expected associated with that. Now let's go over to the sleet accumulation, because there is potential for some sleet, ice pellets with that. And if this verifies, we could be looking anywhere from about a quarter of an inch to maybe even an inch of sleet as well. So there is pretty good confidence along the global models that this could be a mostly freezing rain / sleet dominant event. But again, I will say this will change throughout the course of this week. Now, for the snow lovers, this is the probability of total snowfall greater or equal to an inch off of the European ensemble, the AI. And this is one of the models that's also been performing quite well. And if this were to verify, it's showing the probabilities of 1 inch or greater of snow with this event around 80 to 90% for much of the Metroplex. So in addition to the freezing rain and sleet, we could also be looking at some snowfall potential on the back end of this system, possibly Saturday, late Saturday afternoon into the evening hours. But again, a lot of things will change with this forecast, so please keep your eyes peeled. But in terms of the impacts, we just don't know the impacts yet. I imagine by late Tuesday evening into Wednesday morning is when we'll get specific with the possible timing of this, who gets what, and what impacts will be associated with this. But one thing for sure is this would be a pretty high impact event with obviously travel disruptions, with travel being impossible in some areas. Power outages would also be possible as well as some downed trees. But this is one of those situations where we will have to worry about with time, and we'll figure it out for you. And by Sunday afternoon, this clears north central Texas, moves on to East Texas and parts of the deep south. But the problem is we do see some sun, but we remain at or below freezing for most of the day on Sunday, with the hard refreeze occurring Monday morning. So anything that falls will likely be on the ground through Monday afternoon. Now here's a week from today, Monday the 26th. You can see that storm system moves off to the northeast, and down here it's pretty much a dry look. Now let's go out 10 days, the 29th of January, Thursday morning. And that is a pretty cold look for the eastern part of the country. But down here we have a zonal flow, so I do think temperatures will be about average. Here are the rainfall numbers coming off the European ensemble, the AI version. And what you're looking for, if you're reading these maps for the first time, what you're looking for is this green line. That's the mean of the ensemble. And if this were to work out, we could see if this were to verify, we could see about 2 inches of rain between now and the 3rd of February. Temperatures coming off the NBM National Blend of Models. You can see we're pretty mild for this time of the year through Thursday, and you can see the temperatures just plummet by the weekend. And I will say, through my years of forecasting these southern winter storms, the cold air is almost too shallow for these models to pinpoint correctly. So I can almost guarantee you that these numbers will look slightly cooler, especially for the numbers this weekend. In the latest long range guidance coming off of the Climate Prediction Center temperature outlook between the 27th of January through the 2nd of February, and if this were to verify, temperatures would be slightly above average if this all works out. So if you're watching me for the first time or perhaps looking at my products for the first time, I want to sincerely thank you. The main takeaway from this is we have potential for a high impact winter storm across north central Texas, including Dallas Fort Worth, through parts of the south central United States beginning as early as late Friday afternoon to Friday evening, lasting all day Saturday into parts of Sunday morning. The problem is we don't know the extent of the travel impacts, and we don't know the extent of who gets what. That will be figured out later this week, probably by Wednesday evening at the latest. So just keep your eyes peeled on the forecast. We'll figure it out for you. So thanks for watching. Have a great night and Godspeed.